guys, potentially the final game of this series. NXP leads the series 2-0 against Omega. And right now we have a very standard lineup from NXP. We've seen this lineup before. Same goes for Omega. This is again very similar to that game number 1. It's a matter of execution. And who will be getting the fatigue first. You can actually see how Omega is very careful here. No heavy dives, no heavy invades against NXP.
Yeah, I mean, it's a do or die game, right? It's the last of the last. If Omega Esports loses this game, it's not gonna be good for Omega Esports. But nevertheless, it's gonna be the first blood of Omega Esports taking the mid, taking the W in that fight. Considering that you really don't have that consistent DPS, consistent damage from Chili, from a Gragas, while NXP has those shurikens, has the consistent damage up and running for themselves. Thus producing the first blood kill from their team, now putting them at a 500 gold lead.
Indeed, man. 1-0. 4.7, 4.3k still only just the first blood indeed for Arise here. But the thing here is that that's still Gragas, and the strat of the Gragas, as long as you get your level 5, we still have options and freedom to actually win team fights. It's a matter of just how good you place your explosive gas. NXP still at it with their rotation. They're gonna be faster compared to Omega in completing the push on an outer turret. Of course, the Arisen here cannot do anything on contesting also the mirror done by Omega.
And NXP, considering that they are first into going to pressure that bottom lane turret, they're gonna take it first, which means they're gonna take that tower first blood, which now puts them at an even level playing field when it comes to the gold lead. But nevertheless, Omega Esports still has the opportunity to go for that trade-off into the top lane, which puts them at a bit of an advantage right now against NXP. But NXP is continuing the pressure. Not traditional that we have seen them punish the tier 2 turret, but they're now going back.
Indeed. Alright. I'm actually trying to spot out what are the possible engages here, because obviously the next trade, the Infinity, if you want to anticipate it, it would be onto the bottom lane and Baron lane once again, but this time mirrored to the side of NXP and Omega. But if that happens, I think members of Omega will be in the position to actually rotate quickly onto the Baron. But rather, what NXP did is they anticipated the rotation of a solo Akali going into that Dragon lane. I'm very curious actually why she's there. It's a little bit too early. But, you know, Joshi here, he is the big bane against Akali of JLC.
And considering that Alistar actually went for the sweeping ward as well earlier, actually just placed Akali in a very bad situation wherein his occasion is always known for the side of NXP. But yeah, that
and even Tempest, even the third skill of Lee Sin. That's why Josh is really good against the Akali of JLC.
Yeah, and that first blood, that early kills, that early advantage puts Jin and Lee Sin in a good position. They're now having the Yumu skills played against Omega Esports.
Here we go. NXP is now going to actually have their Lee Sin be into the top lane side. You can actually see how Arisen is shoving the minion waves, going closer and closer to that. Omega, like I said, we will be going onto the bottom lane outer turret to go for that quick push. 3-man is sent already, and they're in the position to take the Drake. And yeah, it's an overall trade, but look at that. Team NXP will just try to complete this push with 2 members, and they will have 3 members trying to contest this turret or even maybe this Drake.
And considering that Lee Sin is so far away, Camille is so far away, Omega Esports is gonna get that first hold onto the Dragon's Pit, but Lee Sin is fast approaching. They're now clearing the mid lane to pressure in that tier 3 turret as well into the mid side. Now NXP is now dominating the Dragon's Pit with Omega Esports forced back away for now. It's gonna be an exciting fight. NXP is currently waiting into the bush, waiting for Omega Esports to make a mistake.
Core items available for the side here. Actually, for Omega, there is 3 core items because members here of NXP didn't do their reset. And I think Omega reads through the item advantage on this one. I think they sensed the reset on one member. Didn't saw that on the Gragas, but already closing in near the Mountain Drake. Even Joshi here is also going for his own reset. And Omega, they don't know this. and that's why they cannot capitalize. This could have been a nice downtime for them to actually start onto the Mountain Drake, but this time, look at the items now. Both with 2 core items plus a Leandris, this time with the difference of the Humus Ghostblade here for the Misfortune. This is a team fight blooming in, and will definitely be so explosive. Trinity Force available for Arisen.
Core items are coming through, baby. Let's go. But Vi still doesn't have any. No, you know what? You know what? He heard me. He heard me. He went in for the Humus Ghostblade after I stated that he doesn't still have his core items up and running. But the Mountain Drake is still not gonna be prioritized by any of these teams right now, as they are looking to be safe. They're looking for a safe play, and I do think after a kill, that's where gonna be the objectives are going to come through.
You can really learn a lot from pro play here. The standard, the items, the pacing that they have done. But Joshi once again step ups. 3 4-man coming in from Disaster. That is big. It allows for Joshi to clean up. But JLC, he knows the plays that needs to be done. And OMG, they know the kill that needs to be completed. But of course, NXP will go to at least counter it. And yeah, Sonic Windbomb to Arise. Not gonna be completing that. Uzi goes for the chase. And OMEGA takes the win with a 5 against 3.
It's the ace. It's the win. It's the wipeout. It's gonna be OEMGA Esports going for the tier 3 turret. I think NXP was just going into deep into that Mountain Drake, and considering that, you know what, we have all core items already for the side of OEMGA Esports, they're really just matched up in terms of those items. And as you've stated, the Glacial Fissure, the AoE setups from OEMGA Esports just completely just puts them at a very good spot.
Watch out, man. Of course, NXP, because of the reset that needs to be done after the lead on that Drake, they quickly rotated, of course, for the Herald. OEMGA here, lots of damage gonna be negated by Stronger. Stronger is trapped. No contestation from JLC, but remember here, I think of NXP is overstaying. Camille is down. Joshi is also attempting to go for the kick. And no tries, but a bullet will connect onto Timelapse. JLC, can he re-enter this? He needs one shuriken flip. Assault and battery completes, but of course they use the explosive gas to peel. Not gonna be enough. It's an overall trade of a 4 for 2.
OEMGA Esports is better, is faster, is stronger when it comes to individual ganks, individual pickoffs. And NXP was split up in that fight, I can tell you. And that they are killed off 4 kills. Or 4 kills? 3 kills in that fight, which just puts them just a bad spot when it comes to this certain situation in the game. Because OEMGA Esports already got the advantage early in the matchup.
But NXP is faster. Here's the thing, NXP is always faster when it comes to the head, when it comes to the gank, that mark, and of course you can actually see Arise just in time to actually fall back from that Hextech ultimatum with a dive as he escapes here using the that mark, and a disaster, a total disaster, as you see the 2 corpses of his teammates make him that 3. And I think that's it. This establishes the lead, 5K, 4K, on the gold lead of OEMGA.
Yeah, Alistar didn't have a chance in that fight. Yeah, there's no items. Like, you have the armor, you have the HP, but when you're talking about like massive damage coming in for the side of OEMGA Esports, you're just gonna get melted by Misfortune, by the Akali, and even the Vi. And as I've stated, OEMGA Esports is better off with pickoffs. NXP should respect that position, because they have the Jin, you have the Camille, you have Alistar and Gragas to set it all off.
Yeah.
But when you're at a disadvantage and Alistar and Gragas are not in a position to go for the setup, you're gonna have a difficult time against OEMGA Esports.
And anyway, guys, again, I ask all of our viewers who's watching right now, later we'll be rolling some shoutouts, you know, so that we can change the running discussion onto the chat. But maybe you can share the stream. I think it makes a lot of sense for you to share the stream if you are really that passionate to cheer for your teams. I think you should just share the stream, show your support. I mean, arguing there won't really help the teams, but if you help them with their exposure for this tournament, then it would mean a lot for them. If you haven't shared the stream yet, take a screenshot of this live stream. Tell them what's up, what's happening. NXP leading this game 2-0. OEMGA leading the series 2-0. OEMGA leading this game with a 3-6 with a whooping, actually not really whooping, but 6,000 gold lead, sizable gold lead. And share it on your live stream. Share it on your personal profiles. Put in the link. Share it to your GCs. Share it to your teammates. Share it to your squads who you usually play with when it comes to Wildrift.
Yeah, and speaking of what's happening right now, it's gonna be the Tragik available in this fight. NXP is dominating when it comes to the round split. OEMGA Esports want to contest this. They're going in for the back lines. It's gonna be Vi waiting into the side lanes. Goes for the dash. It's gonna be the steal. It's gonna be the impressive. Trying to go for that smite and taking it home for the Tragik.
He did complete that one. Of course, he focuses towards the Jhin. He doesn't stop, maybe because they need to stop at least the recall here of NXP. But they don't want to dive in way too deep. It is already complete. The turret taken in by Arise. El Clasico Lepor 1 by OEMGA. And you can also see one by one members here of OEMGA collapsing towards the Baron. But they have the vision. There is no sweeping. Where is the sweeping? It's also on cooldown. And Impressive is not using it. They have a clear vision. You get the steal on the Drake. We will get the steal on the Baron. And there's the next activation. Who will go down? It's still gonna be up to the side of OEMG. And let's see here as members of NXP tries to clean up, or maybe not. They're gonna be the ones who will be cleaned up. And that's it. Drake plus Baron plus skills. It's OMG.
You know what? Lee Sin actually dived into the Baron Smith without a smite. How could he potentially even steal that? And I think I just noticed it back lane, back positioning, and I laughed because of the type of situation that was happening, right? It was too close and it was all over the place. If you've seen it, OEMGA Esports was like backing away a bit. The two members were on top of the hill. Like it was all over the place, but OEMGA Esports took a dub, took a win with the smite of Impressive, taking the Baron home for their team.
Ladies and gentlemen, 76 for this running game. 16,000 on the gold lead. Ladies and gentlemen, established here by OEMGA. And now, they're gonna be eyeing doing a 1-2-2 config here. JLC in a very dangerous situation. This is so bad.
Oh, the Hexic Ultimatum.
He's gonna be cleaning up. Hextech Ultimatum casted towards JLC. He tries to survive using that classic Protobelt. Perfect execution, escape, and he's still able to survive indeed. But what is the trade? Members here of OEMGA along with the Baron Buff, they're gonna be moving forward. This bottom lane inhibitor turret. Very nice explosive cast there by Chuli to at least get the wave clear. And no inhibitors will be taken here by OMG yet.
Very smart bait coming in from the Kali that forces out 3 members of NXP to go to the top lane, and that we have Arise just slowly getting turrets and successfully actually taking the tier 2 turret as well. But now we have Zed, massive damage.
Yes, and the massive damage, you don't have to get the kill, only need to dispute the damage down. And you know what else is taken down? Inhibitor turret down at the mid lane side. Here's the 17-6. Here's the convergence as well. The Baron is still empowering the minion waves. But of course, Team OEMGA will be wiser. They won't want to run the risk of forcing things out. They will go for the reset happy with an inhibitor take.
Yeah, I mean, that's smarter, right? They have a lot of gold from the tier 2 turret into the Baron lane. I mean, the Dragon lane, rather. The tier 2 turret into the mid lane. The inhibitor turret as well. So they have a lot of gold in their hands. So might as well go for a reset for now. We need to utilize this gold. We need to utilize this advantage against NXP. Because if we don't, NXP has the opening, has the breed time to actually make a comeback play. So smart move coming in from OEMGA Esports.
Smart indeed. We have a 15,000 gold lead for the side here of OEMGA. 45 seconds onto the timers of the Baron. 30 seconds onto the timers of an Infernal. Take note that that is still a normal Infernal. Will that be the point of contention that NXP needs to capitalize and turn things around against NXP? Look at the tail of the tape here. Right now, the misfortune is paying dividends. For the side here of OEMGA. I really believe the misfortune is really a nice pick up compared to the Ziggs earlier, compared to the Jhin, who's really difficult to pull off in this high level play because you'll always be zoned out. The reload time in this highest level of play is so important. Those times that you're reloading, it is always so important compared to the Misfortune who doesn't need to reload. Infinite bullets on Misfortune. Actually, she has an excess of bullets. Told to me by one armor dealer in Bilgewater that she uses it and wastes it on bullet time.
You know what, SHINBOO? Look at the wards right now of OEMGA Esports. They're just wanting to secure that information.
Yep.
They just want to get those face checks for their team. And I think they're having that advantage right now. Because you have a Braum to defend in terms of a fight. You have the Vi to go for that single targeted pick. Also, that sweeping wards are going to be very, very impressive for the side of OEMGA Esports. And considering that objectives are now available in this map. But nevertheless, they're looking at close to lock items for that Misfortune, and a lot of items advantage right now for them as well.
And look at this, Infinity. OEMGA is not turning up the vision. Right after they've actually spread all the vision for the Infernal earlier, everyone swapped to sweeping because they know they need to do the campaign on the Baron. And for sure, there are a lot of visions there established by NXP. OEMGA here is still not letting up, still at it with their game, and they still want to deliver here because they have the lead, and it would be very disastrous to lose this one.
Now Zed split pushes into the Baron lane, or Dragon lane rather. Now that forces that Camille to just stay put in that lane. Jin in that Gragas is staying into the mid lane as Lee Sin actually knows, has a feeling that OEMGA Esports is now hovering to the Baron lane. That skill shot is going to connect onto that Baron, knowing that Baron is not going to be contested or initiated by OEMGA Esports, but we might expect it soon. It's going to be very exciting as the top lane. We have a Kali.
Yeah, very dangerous. Stronger going for the cut. They want to commit fully on so that Joshi teleport is coming in. But Arise still has the minion wave down at the bot. And of course, they will peel out. They will quickly rotate for Arise. Arise would still be able to get. Maybe he did receive the explosive cast. He's very much willing to use the death mark. He will burn through. Minion wave 67 on the health of the turret. He also killed the Gragas. That's 4v5 overall on the map. This is OMG's pressure to establish.
It's not something you wanted. Baron Nashor is available for OEMGA Esports. Having that one member disadvantage is not exactly what you want in this fight. And considering that one inhibitor is already open to the mid lane, you might expect 1v1 situation to pressure in all lanes, wherein NXP is going to be split up. So they need to think on what they're going to do, as 20 seconds is still remaining for Chully to go and respond in this fight.
Is engaged there by Joshi against JLC. The thing here is that JLC already has his own proto belt available, so it's very easy for Akali to escape any aggression that can come from Joshi. And Joshi here, that mark all in, he knows he can burn. Wait for the stasis, a few timers to actually buy against Joshi. But look at that, even OMG with few members, even without having time-lapse join the party, they're able to take an inhibitor chariot. And Joshi here is just staying down for the backline. No opportunity to actually flanking and getting the kickback against OEMGA. Only one inhibitor remains for the side here of Team NXP. This is the final team fight, Infinity.
It's gonna be Braum hovering into the sidelines, going in with a Glacial Fissure. It's gonna be the Camille actually pinned down by the enemy team with the dash away, actually connecting into the base. Now safe, but it's still not gonna be the end. It's Misfortune going in for the bullet time, not connecting, but the massive amount of damage. Just saying that the GA has gonna be popped. It's not gonna be enough, as OEMGA Esports is gonna gain game number 3 into this fight. It's 2-1 of NXP.